Zach, you spoke last week on how University Ridge was comparable to the courses the team's been practicing on. So, do you think that the players showed this on the course and the way they approached it?
I think so. I mean, it's in some ways it's actually kind of not exactly the same, but it's playability and the shots you have to hit and the green complex is very similar to what our guys have frankly been seeing their whole lives. So yeah, I think that definitely showed, especially since we'd only seen the golf course one time before the tournament started, which was just during the practice round. So I think that kind of general familiarity, yeah, was definitely part of it.
Okay, Patrick picked up his first collegiate win and he got tabbed the MAC Golfer of the Week. So, can you speak on his week a little bit?
I played great. Start to finish was just awesome. I think what really spoke loudest to me about his week was what happened on Tuesday. The weather was very different. We had a couple really mild days. The fairways very firm, fast. Greens were very receptive though, so naturally scores were going to be a little lower. But with it cooling off and a lot of wind and then rain overnight and into the morning, it was a very different golf course. And the stretch of holes we were starting on were probably the toughest stretch of the course. And for Pat to get 3 over a few holes into his round and then to rally with four birdies and no bogeys coming in, playing with the team having a chance to win and with him having a chance to win individually, just he played with a lot of maturity, and that's what I think is really, that's like I said, what speaks loudest to me about his week was how he handled that, how he handled the last round in general, but especially a tough start.
You have final comments on the Badger Invitational?
An overwhelming amount of positives. We shot a tournament record as a team in the first round. Definitely the lowest round we've had since I've been here, and the team was really comfortable getting it several shots under par and staying there. Second round, we got to a point where we could have been counting a really, really high fourth score, but we only ended up counting just a high fourth score and kept the lead, which was great. Obviously, Tuesday was just an incredible disappointment. We went in there with the mindset that if we play our best golf, then we'll win. And I think Greg's comment to me after the tournament kind of summed up how everyone felt. He said, I just had my best individual finish in college, and I feel terrible right now. And Pat, same way. He said, I'm walking out of here with the wrong trophy. I wanted the team trophy. But it's good. Guys are hungry. We learned a lot. Anytime you are in that final pairing and you got a chance to win, you're going to learn a lot regardless of the outcome. And we know what we'll need to do the next time we get back there.
So this week, you're back up in Wisconsin at Erin Hills. The course is pretty difficult. It's hosting the U.S. Open in a couple years. Was Inverness a good step in preparing for next week, or what other method do you think will get the team ready for another PGA quality course?
Absolutely. Playing Inverness helped a ton. I think the golf courses that we played leading up to Inverness helped as well. One of them in particular, Wolf Run over in Indianapolis, is really, really hard. And it's a place we've competed at in the past and we will again in the future. So Inverness is a great stepping stone, but it also goes back to not just Wolf Run, but places like Forest Hills and Heritage Club. Really, really good tests. Really good tests in different ways. I think it's going to be different. Erin Hills is a different golf course even than Inverness, but the guys will be ready for it for sure.
So this past week showed us what the team's capable of. Erin Hills is going to have a difficult field. It's got Oklahoma State and UCLA, some big national powers coming to the tournament. So what are your expectations for your guys?
This is something we've talked a lot about, is that field and golf course should not matter to us anymore. If we take care of our business going into the last round, we should have a chance to win. We have a lot of respect for those schools. They've earned it over a long period of time. But, it's like I said, to our guys, it's a college golf tournament that we're playing this weekend. And at the end of the day, we're all Division I teams. So if we think differently about other schools, then that's our fault. I think we just have to go and trust our preparation and trust what we're capable of. Obviously, when it's a golf course as difficult as Erin Hills and the field is as strong as it is, the margins become a lot thinner. But we should always just have the belief that if we take care of our business, then it doesn't matter who's there or what they do.
Who will be your starting five for Erin Hills, and do you have anybody traveling individually?
Yeah, so we're going to have Patrick Flavin, Jack Sparling, Greg Conrad, Bud Radis, and then Brian Orr, who played as an individual at Wisconsin. He's going to be competing in the lineup this week, and then we're going to have Daniel Schwartz competing as an individual.
All right, Patrick. So you picked up your first collegiate win this week. How does it feel?
It feels really cool. It was awesome. It was a great experience. It was a fantastic course and a good field, so it was really cool to get the first win.
So there was some bad weather on the third day. How did that affect your approach? And how do you think that affected the rest of the field and your team?
Yeah, I think it was funny. We showed up and we were there for a couple hours before our tee time, so I tried to keep my mind off it and just know that we were going to go out and play some golf because it was questionable for a little bit. But I felt like as a team we were ready to go, and mentally I just tried to stay in the moment, and I knew that I had to be super patient out there and that everybody was going to have to play in those conditions. But I felt like I responded really well to the poor weather.
So Coach Zedrick said that University Ridge was comparable to a lot of the courses you guys have been practicing on in terms of difficulty and play. You think that made your approach more comfortable this week?
Absolutely, yeah. We played a really tough golf course at Inverness, so we were definitely ready to go. And yeah, I felt really comfortable out there on that golf course, and I felt like we've seen a lot of similar situations, so absolutely, we were definitely prepared.
So looking forward to this week up at Erin Hills, what personal or team goals do you guys have?
We definitely want to give ourselves a chance to win again. I'm just going to keep doing the same thing, staying patient, and just trying to give myself lots of chances for birdies, and I know as a team we're definitely going to be in a good spot.
That's all I got. Thanks, Patrick.
You got it.